Welcome to The Movement, the podcast where we explore the heartbeat of the YMCA of Greater Kansas City. Join us as we dive into conversations with community leaders, volunteers, members, and associates who have been part of the Y's impact. Discover the inspiring stories of the past and exciting plans for the future as we celebrate how the Y continues to empower lives across our community. Get ready to be inspired in The Movement with the YMCA of Greater Kansas City. Hello, Y family. Welcome to The Movement. I'm excited about today's topic and our guests. But I want to start with a little bit of YMCA history lesson, so bear with me. If you weren't aware, the YMCA is one of the first major organizations in the U.S. to offer youth sports. Luther Gulick, a YMCA instructor at Springfield College, developed physical training programs and believed sports helped build character and cooperation. And there are a lot of sports that began at the YMCA. Basketball, which most of us know who live in this part of the country, and James Naismith inventing basketball in 1891. At Springfield College, too, where YMCA training and leadership education occurred, making it popular throughout YMCAs across the country. And then volleyball was invented at the Y in Holyoke, Massachusetts in 1896. William Morgan was a YMCA instructor. Racquetball began at the Y in 1950 in Greenwich, Connecticut at the YMCA by Joe Sobek. And how about this one? John Brayler invented football in 1895 while playing for the Latrobe YMCA in Pennsylvania. So, with this fabulous fall in Kansas City, what is better to talk about than the sport we're going to talk about today, which is a all-time signature YMCA youth sport program called flag football. And one more bit of history, I just can't let it go. Flag football is believed to have started in the early 1940s during World War II as a recreational sport for the Army. And the first recorded games of flag football took place at Fort Meade in Maryland. Today, flag football is one of the fastest growing sports in the nation, particularly for women and girls. It's believed that 474,000 girls between the ages of 6 and 17 are playing flag football, a 63% growth since 2019. The Y offers flag football programs throughout the year, so it's almost always open for registration. Visit kansascitymca.org/flag football to sign up. And to help us learn more about where this sport is trending, we have two special guests with us today. First, Sheila Sickau, Youth Marketing Manager for the Kansas City Chiefs, and Eme, we'll call you Eme Porter, the YMCA flag football quarterback. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, I love the smiles. Love the smiles. So Sheila's responsible for strategies that engage and inspire next generation fans and athletes, and really working to deliver impactful programs and experiences for youth and families across the Kansas City metro. We love our flag football program in our partnership with the Chiefs. Sheila's also, this is a cool one, president founder of the Kansas City Glory women's tackle football team. I saw you in a uniform. I saw you. You
did some deep diving.
I did. Oh, man, I'm doing my research. That's part of the Women's National Football Conference, so congratulations for that. And you joined the Glory in 2020?
So it was the Kansas City Titans prior.
Okay.
Then we switched over to the WNFC and became the Glory. So
That's awesome.
Since the beginning.
Yeah, a great way to learn football and spread that and give women an opportunity for sure. And then Eme is the quarterback for the KC Heat Red. Yes, 14 and under girls flag football team with the YMCA. And just note that the KC Heat Red won the 14 and under girls NFL flag Chiefs regional division less than 2 weeks ago here in Kansas City, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm just going to say that's so exciting.
That's great. Eme is an 8th grader at Lakeview Middle School in the Park Hill School District. So welcome again to both of you.
Thank you.
We'll kind of just banter around here a little bit, back and forth. And so again, this flag football program that the Y has, and the flag football program that is just sweeping the nation all the way to the Olympics, right? And I mean, it's everywhere. So Sheila, how did you discover flag football as a passion?
Yeah, well, I think it really just starts off with football in general. Has been ingrained in me since I was younger than Eme. growing up, I had two older sisters, and they were into sports, but not really. And then I had a younger brother, and we were much closer in age and interest. And then it was all neighborhood boys. So always outside before school, football for me.
Yeah.
But then we got to a certain age where they got to play tackle football, and there was nothing for me. And I kind of joke about it with my friends and coworkers that I've held that grudge on into my adulthood, where now I get to create opportunities for girls to now play and have that platform that I didn't have when I was younger. So really, it was football in general for me growing up. And then my first interaction with flag football kind of dove into it with Ottawa University in 2020
Right. Yeah.
with Liz Sowers. She was offered the job as head coach, and we were teammates at the time for the Glory and the Titans, and asked me if I wanted to help out, and started. And that really kickstarted my journey with flag football, and now it is my life inside out and a true passion of mine. And starting the knowledge and separation between tackle and flag, because it truly is two different sports. Really similar thing is the football touchdowns, but different rule book, different like field size,
Right.
obviously. But so giving it the appreciation that it deserves.
Yeah, and so we just talked about the growth in the numbers, 63%, 474,000. I mean, it's just on fire, literally.
Yes.
So, I mean, that growth, where you saw it and where you've been and where it is today. I mean, what's that growth mean to you?
That one, we still have so much to go. Like we have so far to still go, but that we're on the right path. So even when I started with NAI in Ottawa, it was us local schools and a few in Florida. And now the talks of NCAA picking it up and the amount of states that have it sanctioned, I think we're 13 or 14. Pennsylvania just got voted in. And we're trying to get it, Kansas and Missouri. So the amount of states that want to get it as a high school
Right.
sport, we're getting there. And with Eme and other players and parents advocating, I can't wait to see where it goes. And with it being in the Olympics 2028, that is the North Star and
Yeah.
kind of we can point to of it's already here, like national, or not nationally, but worldwide.
Right.
We have to get up to that level.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Eme, when did you start playing flag football?
I would say I don't know the exact age, but around 9 or 10. I saw like other players like the Glory and like other flag football players who are on like the USA national team,
Yeah.
and I thought it was a really cool sport because I tried soccer for a little while and I did not like it. And then I was thinking about basketball, but flag football just stuck with me because it seemed like a really fun sport, and it was like growing at the time, and now it's like still growing. Like you said, we still have a lot of place to go, but I mean it's growing and it's continuing to grow.
Yeah, I've seen some video of you. I mean, you've got an arm. I mean, how did you end up in the quarterback position? Did you play softball? Did you play baseball? I mean, the arm that I've seen.
I've never played baseball or softball, but I wanted to be a receiver for a while, but I don't really have the skills to be a receiver. So quarterback was my next option. And when I was like 9 or 10, I just started to throw the football with my dad in the front yard.
Yeah.
And he said that I had an arm, so I stuck with quarterback.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. In my day, it was getting out front yard with Dad and throwing the old baseball back and forth. You're throwing the football back and forth, Dad. That's great. I mean, that's awesome. What do you enjoy most about playing flag football?
I would say the things that I enjoy most are like looking at the younger divisions and seeing how like excited and happy they are to play flag football, and probably just my teammates. My teammates make it like a joy to be around and like to play flag football with. Like without them, I would not have the same like passion and joy to play flag football.
Yeah. And do you have a lot of friends from school that you're playing with, or do you guys come from different places?
We come from different places. It's funny because sometimes we play basketball against them, like for
Okay.
school.
Sure.
Like some of my teammates go to like different school districts. One of my teammates go to my school, but she's on the other team at my school, so I don't really see her around. But yeah, we normally come from different areas from Kansas City.
That's great. Sheila, the Y's a proud partner with the Kansas City Chiefs for our flag football program. I mentioned that in the opening. Why are partnerships like this important?
I think it's huge and beneficial for everyone involved. One, the awareness and the brand recognition that the Y has. So when parents are looking for sports for their children to play, Y is one of the first places you're going to go to.
Yeah.
And so if you are backing flag football, saying it's something that you believe in and support in, they're going to go and let their kids play there. And then I get the fun job of kind of amplifying it up and making it a fun organization or program to be a part of. So really, I think just bringing those two brands together and then building, what word am I thinking of? Not cohesion, but collaboration
Yeah,
between
sure.
the two of them, and that we do support each other. We're backing it. We share the same vision of getting as many youth out there and having fun. That is the biggest thing too.
Yeah,
I know there's a
absolutely.
lot, but that's happening within youth sports where they want to get very specific in one sport, specialize in it, and that is it. And that's what I appreciate about the Y, of all the opportunities in flag football. Like you just said, it's the same girls playing basketball that you see on different teams and everything like that. Of just getting the kids out there and playing.
Yeah, Ian, partnerships and collaborations just they allow us to do 1 + 1 is 3, right? And allow us to
Exactly.
just multiply it at an exponential rate. So, Eme, back to you. I just have a quick question because I just looked down again, and tell me a little bit about again this flag football regional division championship that happened a couple of weeks ago. Where do you go from there? I mean, what happens when you win a championship in the Chiefs division, regional division flag football?
Okay, so I believe it's in July or June.
I'm so excited to hear your answer.
I don't know if it's in.
I don't know if you saw him, just like,
I think it's in June or July. We go to Canton, Ohio to
Hey, there you
compete in a regional tournament. There's like 32 teams that are going to compete there. Last year, we tried to do it in the Indianapolis regional tournament, and we fell 1 point short. And so we wanted to get our get back this year. And even if we completely lose in Canton, Ohio, it's still going to be a really fun experience.
Man, that's awesome. Going to the Hall of Fame, right?
oh, we are so
man.
excited about it. So a little bit more
Yeah,
background knowledge
please.
on that. Last year, the last 2 years, we held super regional tournaments. And what that means is any state can come in and compete.
Okay.
So we had a few teams from Texas come up and compete. Wisconsin, California, I think we had a team. So this year, the model, all 32 teams have to host a regional tournament.
Wow.
So it's more localized. So we still have I think some Wisconsin, we're north, us up. But what that allowed for is more of our local teams, especially from the YMCA, to sign up and win the championship and win and represent us in Canton, Ohio in July. And we cannot wait for it to be people in our backyard, along with the other ones if they did win. But I know KC Heat, I did watch your guys' games.
KC Heat Red.
So excited.
I just like saying that. I want to say Red Heat, but why? Tell me the background of how you named the team.
I don't really know. We had like a vote about like KC. So our original team was KC Kingdom, but some players had to leave the team, so we switched it to KC Heat. And I don't know. We have two different teams, red and a teal. So I guess to like using our colors to separate the teams with red and teal.
I think I'm more intrigued where the teal came from.
I might have an idea.
You do?
No.
Oh, YMCA.
Oh no!
Like
I'm thinking teal. I think of teal now that with Teal Rising and Casey Current and some of the things that are happening with soccer in the city too. So, which we have a partnership with them too, but that's a whole different story some other day. So back to Sheila. We talked about this partnership, and how do you see the partnership growing to further the impact with females throughout the Kansas City Metro and nationally? I mean, let's just take it national too.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you see that growing?
Yep. So out of the number you listed before, I think it's almost 500,000 girls are playing flag football.
Yeah.
Only about 70 to 80,000 of them have an opportunity to play at the high school level.
Okay.
Yep. So it is significantly less. So what we are working through right now, like I mentioned before, is getting sanctioned in Kansas and Missouri for it to be a state. So with YMCA, especially in the girls' space, is building out those divisions. Not necessarily co-ed, but all-girl leagues for the girls to start playing at a younger age, like Eme started at 9, even down to 6. So then when they get to the high school, we have that opportunity for them, but also having the parents advocating of my daughter's been playing this whole time. And really just getting the numbers bigger, more leagues, more teams, more opportunities for girls.
Yeah. Again, I love talking about partnerships because the why over the course of, at least in Kansas City, our 165 years that we've been serving the Kansas City metro community, We've not been able to do this alone, whether it's through volunteers. For the first 30 years of our existence, we had no paid staff, right? To the sponsorships that we have, the partnerships, the contributors, everybody that's supporting our focus areas of healthy living, youth development, which this realm right here is a combo of both of those, right? And social responsibility. So I'm just so proud of the partnerships that we have that give the opportunity for the youth in this city to have a chance to do something unique, to work on all the benefits and factors that come with that. According to some research that I understand, and Eme, you'll like this because the next question is yours. The benefits for girls in sports include increased confidence, better grades, better performance on tests, success in future careers, and girls who play sports are more likely to graduate from college, land competitive jobs, and work in male-dominated industries. So here's my question for you. I mean, it is. I can feel it when you walk in the room, your confidence. I mean, we talked before we started. Are you nervous? Yeah, a little bit. Well, I get nervous when I get on when I'm doing this too. So, but you sat down and I feel you prepared for this interview.
She's a QB.
I know.
Of course.
She's studying. She's making notes, right? And just preparing to get on the field, right? So what skills have you learned from playing flag football? Let's talk about on the field and off the field. So maybe just on the field, what skills that you feel like you've learned by stepping into this YMCA flag football program?
I would say the main thing that I've learned is to have a memory of a goldfish. So if you make one mistake, you can't get in your head about it. Because if you're a quarterback and your teammates are you're the leader of the offense, if you get in your head, your other teammates will get down and stuff. And that's similar to the real world. In school, if I get a C on the test, I'm not gonna start being down in that class. I'm gonna study harder and then retake the test and see if I get a better grade. And also teamwork. You can't play flag football without a team. So your teammates are crucial. Yeah.
That's a fantastic answer. I mean, it all starts with leadership, right? I mean, you're out front and you're staying there, and people are looking at what you're doing, and you've got to be able to respond and show no fear, no doubts, right? Leave no doubt. So we kind of talked about, your dad, Eme, playing catch in the yard and everything. So, I mean, with this advancement, Sheila, back to some advice maybe for parents and, a future generation or this next generation of flag football. Do you have some advice for them as they approach this and look at this flag football for girls and young women? I
do. And you don't even realize the amount of opportunities that are starting to unfold in this space for female athletes, especially at the college level and the scholarships that are available. These teams are starting up and popping up across the country, and they need to fill their rosters, especially with NAI. I know there's quite a few teams where you can be a multi-sport athlete with flag football. You don't have to specialize. So you can go in, play a different sport, play flag football in the spring, and get a scholarship to play at the collegiate level. So really, if you start focusing and playing at a younger age, like Eme, and then when you get up to that college level, I guarantee it's going to be NCAA level already. So just as soccer, basketball, and we kind of talk about it a little bit at work too, of taking that rose-colored lens off of just because it's a girl's sport doesn't mean it's community, feel good. Yeah. There are opportunities to go professional in this sport. Like I said, same as soccer, basketball, everything else. But also what we've seen in a lot of these teams is it's the girls that come out that have not been on another sport team. They are kind of all starting at the same level, especially at high school. Of getting that family friend mentality, that's a safe spot where you don't have to have the background of playing throughout. So for parents, be open to it. Be open to it. Just because you heard the word football, it is not tackle football. And you will see a different side of your daughter. That is the number one feedback we get. I just ran into somebody the other day and told me their niece plays, and when they talk about it, their eyes light up and they have discovered something within themselves that they never thought that they would until they threw that first football or caught the first catch and are playing the sport. So be ready for it, because once they do start playing,
Yeah.
it kind of changes your life.
Yeah.
Eme, do you agree?
Yes, for sure.
I think, I think back, and I think about opportunities. We kind of talked about next, what's the advice, but what's the opportunities? And this thing has moved from this intramural thing at the collegiate level, right? Where the men or boys were playing, football, but, everybody else is playing intramural. And now it has morphed into this sport. And it's fantastic. And I think about opportunities in the real world. You've moved from player to coach to business professional. I mean, you've moved through this cycle, and
my seasonal, Abby Brown, I will give her a shout out, and I'm so thankful for her every day. She is a graduate from Ottawa and played for them for 4 years, and I needed someone to come in that had the background knowledge and experience of flag football to go in and present on it and be able to talk about it to athletic directors in schools and be able to help me put on camps and clinics. So as it's growing, we're going to need those players that have the experience to talk about it and teach others to grow the sport.
Yeah. I mean, what would you tell people or friends or girls that that, or maybe you've already done this? So what have you said, or what are you thinking about to encourage more girls to play flag football?
Well, some, like that player at my school, some of our teammates and my dad encouraged her to join our team because, like you said, we needed more players to join our team.
Yep.
And once it reaches one person, it spreads out to a bunch of other people. I would definitely say that girls who are wanting to try to do it or thinking about it should definitely do it, because the sport is only going to grow more complex. Like you said, you can get a scholarship for college, and I mean I feel like a couple years ago you wouldn't be able to do that, and since it's growing today, it's going to continue to grow for another couple years. So I feel like getting a scholarship for college is really cool, because if you don't play any other sports and you think flag football is kind of like your home, for because you don't want to play soccer, you don't play basketball. I mean, being able to have a scholarship is just really cool to me.
I think this is so interesting that Kansas and Missouri are on the brink, right?
We're trying.
Trying. And is it ready to go, or is it still in conversation?
It's very interesting. Each state has a different process that I've learned so much about.
Misha, Kansas, however
yes.
you want. Let's get the
but
acronyms.
Across the whole country, every state is kind of different on how a sport becomes sanctioned. So on the Kansas side, it's a certain number of schools, and then it'll go to a vote. 24 high schools. This past fall, we had 11, up from 2 the year before. In Missouri, it's going to be a little bit longer of a process that they have set up. We're tracking to have 38 schools in the spring, but it needs to get voted in as an emerging sport first. Have that for a little bit to show the success of the programs across the schools. Then it would get put up for another vote to become a sanctioned sport. So that is very different between both. And then other states, I've heard every single county has to vote it in. So that's kind of why some states are a lot faster and others might not be for a little bit.
Who was out front on this? What state?
Yeah, so when we started up Ottawa, the first 3 were Alaska, Florida, and Nevada. And they've been around for, I think, Florida and Nevada over 10 wow. years already. Okay. So they've been there, and that's where we started to recruit from. So I think the first team we had at Ottawa, the majority were from the state championship team in Nevada for high school, and then a few from Florida. But as it's building out, it's really growing up to the college level of these athletes coming from all over the area. And that's why I'm going to just keep going here, if you don't mind.
No.
It's so important for us to get it in Kansas and Missouri, because we have 12, 13 colleges within our area that have to outsource and are recruiting from these other states that have programs for a while, when it could be our local YMCA kids getting the scholarships or our high schools. So
that was my follow-up.
Yep.
No. I'm glad you answered it. What can organizations like the YMCA and parents, be advocates, right? And voice your opinion, or talk to your superintendents or your school
that is
districts.
The biggest thing I get back from athletic directors is they say, I don't know if we'll have any girls that are interested. And I let them, I chuckle.
Hold that thought.
And I'm like, I think you'll be shockingly surprised.
Yeah. I mean, and we're fortunate to have Ottawa here, right? I mean, they get a chance to meet some of the leadership and some of the coaches and some of the power that has brought that so fast and forward, and it's just cool to be able to talk about them as well. Eme, I mean, you knew. I mean, I didn't even have to ask you the question. Are you aware about these scholarships that are happening with flag football at the collegiate level? Somebody's already told you that this is a possibility. Did you know that? You knew that?
I mean, I didn't like a few years ago.
Okay.
I just thought it was like a cool sport that I would do for a few years. But now that it's grown, like I feel like I can actually do it like competitively for a long time. And like my high school is thinking about adding flag football to their team in the spring as an actual sport. And I really hope they like go through with that because I would love to do it. And I know a bunch of people who go to my school would love to do it too.
Yeah. Well, make sure you tell them about this podcast and let's just spread the word. All right.
I will.
All right. There's a little selfless plug there for the Y in the movement,
Yes.
right? But we're all in this together. Sheila Beck, you mentioned it earlier. You were kind of giving me the there's football and tackle football and flag football. I mean, what are those nuances a little bit deeper maybe between the two that can kind of, for those that don't know?
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of it as the conversations come up with the NFL players talking about playing flag football. We have national teams at the flag football level, and we've had for many years, men's and women's. And so I know the women's team is pretty set in place because they have been the highest level. But it changes the conversation when the NFL players start talking about flag football.
Sure.
And if you go in, and I know Eme can talk about it too, it's different movements. It's a different game. If I ask you what a dip is in flag football, what do you think?
I'm probably thinking maybe you're trying to swing your hips so your flag doesn't get pulled.
How would you explain it?
So like you like change like your level. So it's like kind of like do like a lunge, but like in motion.
Yeah.
If you have not looked this up yet, highly recommend Googling and looking at a flag football dip and the athleticism that goes into it. I can't do it. I've had
I can't
pretty
do
sure
Too many
it.
knee
I'm
and
pretty
hip
sure
surgeries.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to blow a knee with
Yeah,
what
my
you're
knees
describing.
would give out.
but it is truly a sprint, and you drop down and keep sprinting to change the level of your hips so it doesn't get pulled. But then also the different ways you can play flag football. So you have your 5s, your 7s, there's 8s, there's 8 contact. There are so many different ways and leagues that you can get into as adults throughout the country. But I think Olympics are going to be 5, high schools is 7, college right now is 7s. And really, they come with different rule books.
Sure.
So
Sure. And
it's
different
a
size
lot.
fields, right?
And different
Widths, yep.
size, yep. And so what they are working right now with the National High School Federation is coming up with a flag football rule book, the same like high school tackle football has, where it will be the same across the nation.
That's great. I mean, what are your personal goals for the future when it comes to flag football?
I would definitely say, I would love to try and make it to the Olympics. I mean, that's kind of hard to think about right now.
No, it's
No.
not. No, it's not.
You're thinking about it, see? You're already
It's
there.
never too early.
And then I would say I definitely want to I would try to get a scholarship for college flag football. I mean, there's a bunch of colleges in Kansas City now that I've been looking at, like Ottawa's one.
Yep.
They're like, their flag football program's like really advanced, and I've been watching their stuff. They're very good. Very good.
They're actually the best.
Yeah, the best. The best.
They're the best. All right, go Braves. Go Braves, right? So I've been, you mentioned I'm doing research. I did research on her too. I mean, I've seen video, I've seen your Facebook page, but I found this. I mean, this is like, the player spotlight thing on Facebook. I pulled it down. I'm reading some stuff here. So, you're not, and we talked about this before the podcast, you're not just a flag football player. You have other passions. You have interests in other things that keep you well-rounded. I mean, tell me a little bit, maybe I won't blow it, but what was the conversation we were having that, you're getting ready to try out for also?
Okay, so, well, first, not what we were talking about. There's basketball tryouts next week for school.
Yeah.
And I will be doing that. And also all district band tryouts are
How about
next
that?
week.
What instrument?
Bassoon.
Love it. I played the trumpet.
The trumpet's a cool
I was a
instrument.
big band. Yep.
Yeah. So what else? Tell me more. What else are you interested in?
Is it on that paper? Because I
It
don't really
is.
know what I wrote on that.
No, that's okay. I mean, here I'm reading this. Your student council, National Junior Honor Society. You're a mentor. You're in band. We talked about that, but track and basketball. I mean, that's so great. You are involved. You're getting a well-rounded, activity and education perspective, and that's fabulous. And it shows up in here while you're on this conversation with us. So congratulations on that, and congratulations to your parents, because I know it starts there too. So, what are you thinking about a career? I'm going to ask you. You're in 8th grade. People are already thinking about, besides playing professional. If we get to that point, or on the national team or a collegiate, what about a career? I mean, what do you have you even thought there? I just like throwing that out and see what you're thinking.
At school they do like career share,
Sure.
And like some careers that I've came in I've liked, but some I haven't. And recently they've done like this form online, and some the careers that I got were like a I don't really know. It was like something about one of them was a PE teacher, which I could do. But I don't know if I would like working with kids.
Then I don't know.
Well, I mean, to your right, Sheila's kind of gone through that circle. I mean, she played, she's coaching. I mean,
This is
there's
my 3rd career, though.
Yeah.
So it's also okay to change.
Yeah. We, I continue to think again, and we've got a couple of things, but I got a couple of things before I get to my final 4 questions. The YMCA, I'm going to say this again, we offer flag football throughout the year, and that program, it's so popular, we had to extend it through the entire year. I mean, there's winter flag football at this point, and it's always open for registration for the most part. And KansasCityYMCA.org /flag football. Sign up for flag football and any of our programs, because I think they're all well-rounded too, to give everybody an opportunity. But again, before we get to the final 4, I want to share that I believe my path, and again, where I am today, began 50 years ago in 1974 on a field at the Thornton Family YMCA, where I played flag football in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I've given some photos to our producer to put when we get to the video. So you'll get to see the flag football team. You'll see Mark Hulet in 1974, which I believe I was 8 when I started my. But I do truly believe and understand that teamwork, work ethic, competitiveness, confidence really started there. You learn to work with a team. I think it led me to a great high school career. I got to play college football. I ended up coaching college football for 13 years. And eventually back into the YMCA for 25 years now, and getting to continue to serve the community. So Eme was looking at me like, you said 50 years ago. I know I look young. I do. But yes, someday, Eme, you're going to look back and you're going to say YMCA flag football had an impact on my life. You will. So final 4, here we go. We'll just bounce back and forth.
Boy.
Are you ready?
Okay, yes.
I'm going to let Eme go first because she's got her gear. All right. So Eme, what is let me ask this. Who is your favorite football player?
My favorite football player is Peyton Manning.
All right. Back to you, Sheila. Your favorite football player?
I honestly, that was my first number when I played quarterback, was after Peyton Manning. I'm not even lying. So yeah.
You're going there too?
Yeah.
All right. That's easy. So, Eme, tell me about your favorite football sports memory.
My favorite football sports memory would probably be the first tournament we ever did with KC Kingdom.
Okay.
We went to a Philadelphia tournament.
Ooh.
And we lost the tournament pretty badly, but it was a fun experience because it was our first tournament with the team.
And probably gave you motivation to keep going, right? I bet it did. What about Sheila? What's your favorite football sports memory?
I've got a few more years on you, so I got to think about this one. Can I be generic?
You can be.
And it's not actually a moment, and I say this to all the players that I've coached before. Yeah. You won't remember the X and O's and scores on the game, but I am so happy of what football has done to my life in regards of friendship.
Sure.
And opportunities and where I've gotten it to. I have friends all over the world and country now because of football. Yeah. And that truly is like my favorite memory. And I guess it would stem from years ago, to put it into one moment. USA Football put on Women's World Football Games, and it was 200 to 300 women from 17 countries that we all came together and learned football and scrimmaged, and great. So I'll put it into that moment.
I love it. 100% agree.
I don't know if I have a go-to hype song, but a song that I like to listen to before game is "Love" by Keisha Cole.
Super. All right, Sheila, yours.
I'm trying to think.
What would you put? You had to put on so me, I'm going back. I'm putting the Walkman on in my days,
I know,
right?
but I
So
don't know.
got a
I'm so
cassette.
bad with song names and artists.
Yeah.
I think it's Put On. Like I put on for my city. I put on. You know that one?
Not ringing a
Nope. Okay.
That's awesome. It's all right.
That one. Whatever the name. I think it might be named Put On. But
We'll do some research on that.
Okay.
Somebody bring up one of those apps that can tell us what the song
Yeah.
is. Okay. All right, Eme. Who or what inspires you the most?
I would probably say going back to like littler kids. Like I want to be able to inspire them when I get older and have I don't know. I guess sort of like Peyton Manning. Like I wear 18 because of Peyton Manning. So I guess
so wild.
so I guess I'll have an impact on them to make them want to continue playing flag football.
Yeah, great. That's a great answer. How about you, Sheila?
I don't like going second.
I know. She's got some great answers.
Literally, because I was going to say it's when I get to see what's happening in flag football and the trickle down effect. And every single time I get to go to an event or see girls your age playing flag football, without a doubt, reignites everything within me to keep pushing forward.
And that, my YMCA family, is Sheila Sickau, Youth Marketing Manager for the Kansas City Chiefs, and quarterback Eme Porter of the Kansas City Heat Red. And in true football cliche, I think they gave it 110% today and left it all on the field. Thank you so much for being here, both of you, on this episode of The Movement. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, stay motivated, stay connected, and keep moving forward with us on The Movement. Together, we're building a stronger community, one story at a time. Thanks for spending time with us on The Movement. Visit kansascitymca.org for more information. And be sure to follow the YMCA of Greater Kansas City on social media for the latest updates.